Hello everyone, my name is Patricia. Currently, I work as a VPK teacher in a private preschool. Unfortunately, with everything going on the way that it is right now, my class was unable to finish out the school year, which was a little bit sad. It's the first time I've ever had a class end abruptly like that. My goals for my education are to finish with my bachelor's. I should be graduating at the end of May, if everything goes according to plan. And then I plan to continue on to get my master's degree and hopefully be able to open my own child care center within the next 5 years. Um, my husband and I have a very large blended family. We share 7 children. Our oldest is 17. Then we have a 14-year-old, 3 10-year-olds, a 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So our family is always chaotic and busy. There is never a spare moment or peace in this house. But that was always my dream, was to be a teacher and to have a very large family. Some things that I like to do in my spare time. I like to read. I will read anything and everything that I can get my hands on. And I like to crochet. Thankfully, my mother-in-law is amazing at that, and she's able to teach me a little bit more than what I already know. In this week's readings and videos, I was really struck by the way that Spanish-speaking children were kind of brushed off as just not as important, is the feeling that I got from the readings and the videos. One of the videos, it really struck me when she went to take her daughter in, and because her daughter only spoke Spanish, was, oh, I see, she doesn't have language. And I couldn't understand how anyone would ever say something like that when clearly the child can communicate. She can speak. Just because it's not a language that you understand doesn't make it any less important. And these are things that I always felt were important in the classroom, is to share the differences that we all have and the differences in our backgrounds and our cultures, because it makes everything vibrant and beautiful and different. I love to have the beginning of the year in my classroom with their families sending in pictures of their families and sharing what languages they speak, what countries they come from, what their culture is about, the types of foods that they eat that are different from what I might eat. And it was just a bit sad to me to see something like that. I understand that times have changed quite a bit, and what we now value and look at as important in our classrooms is different from what it was when I was growing up and when my family members were growing up as well. Um, I know that when I went to school, I have a Hispanic last name. I certainly don't look Hispanic. I could not speak Spanish. I grew up in a family of all white English speaking people. I had no connection to that part of my culture and my life. So I didn't understand that if I had come into the classroom speaking Spanish and not speaking English or not speaking it well, that I might have been treated differently. I I just don't understand how a teacher or an education system could look at another language that is being spoken is not as important, or devalue it to their families and their parents. One thing that I saw was that the parents were encouraged to only speak English to their children at home. Why would you only speak English if your native language is Spanish or any other language? You came over here, but obviously you still want to hold on to your culture and your language and share that and pass it on to your children and your grandchildren and have them embrace that diversity and beauty that they have from where they came from. So I'm really hoping with this course, by the way, I'm taking it because I have to, but I'm really hoping with this course that I learn more ways and techniques to embrace the diversity that I see in my classroom every year. I live in a very blended, multicultural neighborhood, and I want to make sure that I embrace those differences for my students and find the best ways to teach and promote not only their language but English. I understand that it's important for them to learn that as well, but it is even more important for them to hold on to their home language and to understand how important and special that is.